Hi, this is Ann Stoneson of Beginning Counselor, Building Your Ideal Internship, and today I'll be speaking with you about how therapy is not peanut butter, or how to have confidence in yourself, your treatment, and your fees. So this is for you if your town is super saturated with therapists and you're worried about how to set yourself apart, or if you worry as a beginning therapist how you measure up to others, or if you need a reminder about the number one most important factor in any therapy. If any of these apply to you, you're in the right spot. I'm glad you found me. So let's start with the common fear that a lot of beginning therapists have, as well as therapists who've been in established practice for quite some time. And that is the fear or the question, why would anybody pick me? You may really be wondering, how am I different from other therapists, or what do I have to offer? These other folks have been in practice longer, they have more trainings, more experience. Maybe I have to set my fees really low in order to get anybody to come and see me. If those are questions that are running through your mind, you are not alone. And I'm here to tell you that there's a really key aspect of this whole picture that I'm hopeful once you see, you'll have a lot more confidence in yourself. And it's this idea about not being peanut butter. So let me tell you a little story about this. So if you're like me, when you go to the grocery store, you've got certain staples that you just need to get. You've got peanut butter, milk, right? Or you may go to the aisle with the peanut butter and go, okay, Peter Pan, Jiffy, Skip, the store brand, and you may just go for the cheapest option. Maybe you don't, which that's fine too. But you look at that stuff and you say, what's so different about any of this other than the packaging? And so I think a lot of times we can see ourselves the same way as therapists and as practitioners, where we think, well, you know, the only thing that differentiates me from these other folks is like our fee. I guess I just need to charge less if I don't feel like I measure up. And I'm here to tell you that that is a mistake to think that way. So I want you to challenge your assumptions. I want you to challenge the notion when you think to yourself about what makes a good therapist. How important is training? How important is experience? How important is expertise? So I'm not going to take the stance that these things don't matter and hey, like it's all good. That's not what this is about. But really, research shows that therapy works because of a few key components. And while training and experience and expertise matter some, certainly, or we wouldn't spend so much time and money focusing on those things, there's a key element about how therapy works that we need to consider when we're sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, what do I have to offer? Why would anybody pick me? So how does therapy work anyway? So how does therapy work? We could get a dozen different answers to that question, but one thing that the research shows is that one of the key aspects, one of the most important elements of successful therapy is the quality of the therapeutic relationship. This is sometimes called the therapeutic alliance. And there's been a lot of research done on this, and it looks at the therapist's capacity to establish a compassionate presence, to convey empathy, warmth, and to forge a strong working relationship with the client, that there's mutual trust, that the client and the therapist both are in agreement about what they're working towards in therapy and why. So this is the thing I want you to come back to when you think, what do I have to offer? Or I'm just beginning, or I've never seen a client before. One of the key aspects of this work is the quality of the relationship you have with your clients. So when you think about it that way, you have the advantage. It's not about the license you have, or the trainings you have, the protocols you follow. It's about who you are as a person and your capacity to connect compassionately with another human being. That, at core, is the thing that most matters. And upon that key framework, then you can build, a solid orientation, a way of working. You can obtain those trainings. You can write, but at core, at the bottom of it all, can you connect with your clients? And a big part of that is being able to tailor your work to the client you're sitting across from, that you don't use maybe a one-size-fits-all approach. That's my personal bias, to tailor the therapy to the person sitting across from you. Because I think that's what compassionate care is all about, is really seeing the person in front of you. And to be fair, experience can help with this relationship building. Training can help with this relationship building. Those are all things that can help refine that skill. But this is something that you could very well be coming into this profession with as a brand new therapist. And you may find that you're already really good at it. In fact, a lot of people are right out of the box who come into this profession, and they kind of know that at some level, and that's how they ended up in this line of work in the first place. So remember, you have the advantage. There is no one else like you. Only you can connect with this particular person in this particular kind of way. Only you can hold that presence and that awareness that's so uniquely yours. So you may be saying, well, that's all very well and good, Anne, and even if I think that, a lot of my clients or people who are thinking about coming to see me may not see it that way. And you'd be right. Some clients may not get this or appreciate this or see this in the same way that I do. This is my bias. I should have owned that at the beginning. This is how I see the process of therapy as working, but not all clients will see it this way. Not all people will see it this way, and that's okay. So some folks may see therapists as largely interchangeable, and the thing that seems to differentiate them is the fee. It's kind of like the peanut butter scenario. Oh, well, this is all the same stuff. But there's some peanut butter in the store that actually does have some different ingredients, or, there's almond butter, and there's variability. If you go looking and you think about it, people are different. Therapists are different. And it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of model. Even if there are people who don't buy into this proposition and don't appreciate how different therapists are, and how we are the instruments of the care that we offer, and so we're as unique as there are people in the world, that's okay. Maybe that person just isn't meant to be your client. Their needs and priorities may be different. Maybe they are saying, I just need to get the cheapest therapy possible. That is my bottom line. And that is okay, because there are lots of people who can offer that. But maybe that's not going to be you, depending on where you are in your trajectory in your career. So leading into that, a little bit more about, you don't have to be the cheap option. Many beginning therapists think they have to have the lowest fees in order to get clients. And if you think that all therapists offer the same thing, then that tactic makes sense, because it's, well, if I just undercharge, then people will come and see me, because if what we offer is more or less the same, or I don't know how I stand out, or I don't know the value of what I do, then I'll just go for making my fees as inoffensive and low as possible, and that'll solve it. That is one solution, but I worry about what that solution entails for you, and if that's a sustainable model. So this may be a wild and wacky idea for you, this idea that therapy isn't peanut butter and neither are you, and that what you bring to the table, your own life experience, your perspective, your own unique presence, is a valuable and treasured thing and can be exactly what that person across from you needs, without any improvement, change, treatment planning, what have you. That maybe those pieces are all helpful ancillary supports, but that the key component is you and your capacity to forge connection with your client. So maybe this notion is a little wacky. Maybe it's a little crazy to you, and that's okay. I'd say take some time to get familiar with it. Consider seeking your own therapy. Maybe you need some help uncovering more about this and building up your confidence. Just remember, I'm not just talking crazy dreams here. The research, go look. I did. The research backs you up on this. It's not about your degree. It's not about your GPA, your theoretical orientation, or how many trainings you've had, or how many years in practice you've been. It's about the relationship. It's about the relationship. Thanks so much for taking the time to listen to me today. I look forward to connecting with you on another talk. This is Ann Stoneson of Beginning Counselor Building Your Ideal Internship. Have a wonderful day.